Hey, this is CS Fight Odds giving my recap for UFC Fight Night 35. Overall, I went 8-4 on the card. I started off the card pretty badly at 0-3, and then only got one fight wrong after that, which was the Larkin and Tavares fight. So it was an overall pretty good night for me. Anyways, I'm going to talk about Luke Rockhold's great performance, TJ Dillashaw, Silverio, the Larkin and Tavares fight, and talk about Yoel Romero's performance as well. So let's start off with Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold delivered with a KO win. My prediction and betting recommendation was to take Luke Rockhold to win the fight inside the distance. If you followed that play, you should have won some money. Rockhold basically did everything I expected him to do. He controlled the distance well with his jab and his leg kicks. He never let Philippou close the distance and get inside. He used his long jab and kept Philippou at the end of his punches. He also used his leg kicks well, which is what I expected him to do. Anytime Philippou tried to rush in to throw a combination, he kept missing, and Rockhold would quickly counter with a short left hook. The knockout that finished Philippou was beautifully set up. Rockhold first threw a left high kick, which was blocked by Philippou. Then he followed it up quickly with a left kick to the liver as Philippou was expecting another high kick, and it immediately dropped Philippou and he knocked him out. It was a beautiful performance by Rockhold. He immediately puts himself back into title contention. You know, this is actually, Rockhold is the first person to ever finish Philippou, which makes it even more impressive. Prior to the Vitor Belfort fight, I thought Luke Rockhold was the second best middleweight in the division, and even though he got caught with an unexpected spinning back kick by Vitor, I still believe Rockhold is the better fighter, and I think he would beat Vitor if they had a rematch. I think he's an overall better fighter. He just got caught with an unexpected kick. After the fight, he called out Michael Bisping. It seems like everyone's calling out Michael Bisping. I think he beats Michael Bisping as well. He already holds a win over Jacare Souza and Tim Kennedy, so a couple more wins and he's going to be fighting for that title again. And I think he would give Chris Weidman a very tough fight. So congrats to Luke Rockhold on an excellent performance against Philippou. Moving down the card, I thought Lorenz Larkin really blew a great opportunity away. Look, I did not think Tavares was the better fighter. He won the fight because he outworked Larkin. He threw leg kicks. He stayed busy. He didn't land many of his punches, but Larkin was so pathetically inactive for the first two rounds that it really didn't matter. Finally, in the third round, a sense of urgency for Larkin sets in. He finally starts opening up, lands a couple 1-2 combinations, lands some leg kicks of his own, and makes Tavares pay on the takedown attempts with elbow strikes against the cage. Larkin won the third round, but it was too late. It was a very disappointing performance for Larkin. As far as Tavares goes, I'm not totally sold that he can beat anyone in the top 10 at middleweight, unless they're willing to just stand there and take punches like Larkin the whole night. But a win's a win, and he took advantage of the opportunity. Moving on. TJ Dillashaw completely dominated Mike Easton. I predicted this would be a lopsided fight, mainly because Easton struggles with speed, and the ambush style of Dillashaw would give him serious problems. Dillashaw just stayed on the outside. He didn't throw any jabs, and he would just jump in, throw a 3-4 punch combination. Sometimes he would end it with a kick and then jump out just out of range to prevent being countered. He showed Easton a lot of angles. It frustrated Easton because Easton is a stationary fighter. He wants fighters to stay in the pocket and exchange with him. As soon as you show Easton any kind of movement, he struggles. Dillashaw was just jumping in and out the entire fight. He managed to land a couple takedowns and dominated Easton on the ground as well. So it was a very lopsided fight. Dillashaw basically put on a clinic, and he really put himself back into title contention again. He's going to thrive against stationary opponents. The opponents that I believe will give Dillashaw the most trouble will be those that can jab and counter. Similar to someone like Rafael Asunciao, I think someone like Eddie Wineland or Michael McDonald can give him some problems as well. But like I said, he put on a clinic on Easton, and congrats to him for a very impressive win. Ilyas Silverio dominated Isaac Valley-Flag. He's someone you need to keep an eye on going forward. He's a very big lightweight. He came down from welterweight, and he has very good, very technical stand-up, great on the ground, and he just dominated Isaac Valley-Flag in every single area. So, like I said, Ilyas Silverio, he's someone you need to look out for in the future. Finally, Yoel Romero delivered with the KO TKO. He had a massive comeback against Derek Brunson. Going into the fight, I said this would be Romero's toughest test because Brunson was going to challenge his wrestling and try and grind him down. I thought Brunson really controlled the first 2 rounds with his movement and his leg kicks. I thought he timed his takedowns very well. He definitely out-grappled Romero, but going into the 3rd round, Brunson's movement decreased. He wasn't moving as well as he did in the first 2 rounds, and he was getting hit with the left hook by Romero. Eventually, Romero landed a left hook that knocked Brunson down, and then he basically went on to finish him with strikes to the body. It was a disappointing loss for Derek Brunson. As far as Romero goes, he's very raw. He has power in his left hand, but he doesn't use his right hand, and his takedown defense, especially on the MMA level, is questionable. Brunson landed 3 out of 5 takedowns. Romero went 0-4. So far in Romero's career, he has not landed a single takedown, which is shocking considering he's a silver medalist. Fighters that are strong grapplers are going to give him problems. He also seems to have big problems with fighters that move. In the first 2 rounds, Brunson's movement really stifled Romero. Romero was leaping a lot with his left hook. He was getting countered, and he was missing wildly for the first 2 rounds. Romero does have a killer instinct, and when he hurts his opponent, they are definitely going to be in big trouble. And just one more fight I'd like to talk about between Dustin Ortiz and John Moraga. I thought Dustin Ortiz won that fight. I thought he won the 1st round, and I thought he won the 3rd round. Now, Moraga, he looked like the better fighter in the stand-up. He was catching Ortiz, who really couldn't put together a lot of punches, but Ortiz completely dominated Moraga once the fight got to the ground, and he definitely won the 1st round. I thought he won the 3rd round as well. Moraga really needs to work on his grappling if he wants to have a chance in that division. So I thought Ortiz looked great. I thought Moraga really didn't put up a great performance tonight, so he's going to need to work on his grappling in my opinion. Anyways, I thought it was a great card. What did you guys think of the card? What fighters impressed you? What did you think about Luke Rockhold's performance? Who would you like to see him fight next? And as always, thanks for watching.